Okay, so we're going to start on our backs. So find a comfortable position for yourself, whatever that may be. Maybe Shavasana or maybe Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together, knees apart. And let's place your right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. And then take a long, slow inhale through the nose and just fill up with breath. Big inhale. And then open your mouth and just say the word ha as you let it go. Fully exhaling. Keep exhaling till that belly button draws down toward the spine. And then slowly begin to breathe in that air through the nose, filling up. And then opening out the mouth, or you can keep those lips softly closed, your choice. And just continue with that nice, slow, deep breath for the first few moments of class. Use each breath to try to quiet your mind. So if you're noticing already thoughts kind of racing through the mind, try to wipe them away. Picture your exhales kind of like you're blowing those thoughts away like a cloud. So my quote for you this morning, only because it's so timely, I had to tie it to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, of course. I saw this one quote that she said that I really liked. Fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Love that. So take a moment, let those words kind of simmer in your body and set an intention for your practice. And then go ahead and take one more deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, let that go. Go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Relax the shoulders, let them slide down the back, and take your knees wide so they're on the outsides of your rib cages, or your rib cage each side, I should say. And then rotate your ankles to let some little cracks happen, and then rotate them the other way after a few times, each direction. And then bring your thighs together and let's make some circles with your knees. Going clockwise a couple of times. And then go the opposite way. Make it feel good. And let your knees drop to the right. Extend your left arm and look over your left shoulder. Take one more inhale here. One more full exhale. Let everything go. On your next inhale, bring your knees to center and take them to the other side. Extend and look over your right arm. Couple deep breaths here. And then come on back to center, release your feet to the floor, arms at your sides, and go ahead and walk your feet towards your body. We're gonna press down in your feet, lift your hips up, and really tuck the tailbone under, and then take those arms up and over your head onto the floor. Press down a little bit more in your feet, lift those hips, draw the thighs inward. One more inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring everything down, your spine, your arms, your hips, your fingertips, all the way down. And then as you inhale, just make this a dynamic bridge with your breath, lift your hips, and as you exhale, come on back down. Few more times with your breath. Let's keep the hands down and just lift the hips up, and we'll stay here in bridge for a few breaths. So you can choose here to stay where you are and press into your hands to kind of lift those hips a little bit. Maybe walk your hands underneath you if your shoulders feel ready for that. Or you can simply bend your elbows, press down in the elbows, and you'll notice those hips lift a little bit with that pressing of the elbows. 2 more breaths wherever you are. On your next exhale, come all the way back down, curling that spine down. Draw those knees back into the chest. Gently rock from side to side. And then we'll start with a little core work, bending the knees here, hands behind the head, shoulders lift, and your elbows are nice and wide. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, right elbow to left knee. Inhale back to center, and switch it up. So you can continue just like this. If you want more of a challenge, you can do 2 straight legs, your choice. But the lower you hover your leg right over the floor, the more challenging it will be. So if you've done a lot of core work this week and you kind of want to break, just have your leg float higher off the mat. Couple more, just keep going at your own pace. And then we'll meet back in center. We're gonna take your hands to your thighs and press your hands into your thighs and your thighs into your hands. So just do that right now, and you should feel an engagement in the core. Feet are flexed, shoulders are lifted. Keep pressing into your thighs and keep pressing those thighs into your hand. 4 more breaths right here. 4, 3, 2, and then don't go anywhere. Just reach your right arm and leg away from each other. Keep this action in the left. And then exhale, switch it up. Press the right thigh into the right hand, extend the left arm and leg, and then come back to center. Engage like they're getting like suction together. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Release it down, draw those knees in. Let's come into a happy baby. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Don't worry so much about form. Just go with where your body is right now. And bring those knees together. We're gonna rock and roll a few times and meet in a standing forward fold. So use that momentum to propel you forward and then just fold over your thighs. So you can use your blocks if you need to raise the floor to your hands, or you can grab your elbows if that feels good, or you can just kind of let your hands dangle down toward the floor. So do what feels good. So your sitting bones and your tush, lengthen those upward as you breathe into those hamstrings. Couple more breaths here. And then come on back to center. If you're swaying, bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, forward, fold over your thighs. Do that again. Inhale, look forward, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. And with a long spine, inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. And then draw your hands together at your hearts. From here, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, and just hold it here in plank. So fingers are spread and you're pressing firmly in the floor. Your heels are reaching to the back of the mat, crown of the head reaching forward. Take 1 more breath here. And then lower, slow chaturanga. Come all the way down to your belly with control. Nice. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Relax the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lower. Do that 2 more times with your breath. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. Stay here this time. Take a little gaze over that right shoulder. Kind of nudge the shoulder down your back. And then look over the left, do the same thing. Make sure those shoulders are away from your ears. Come back to center and let's lower down to the belly. Tuck those toes, press up to plank. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. Take a couple of deep, deep, deep breaths. At the end of your next exhale, look forward and walk your feet to the top of your mat. When you get there, hands on your shins, inhale, look forward, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, hands together at your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana, long spine, nice. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, plant those hands, step back, and lower slow right through your vinyasa. So move with your breath. If you want to stay in your cobra or up dog a few breaths, feel free. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take 2 more deep breaths. Shake that head out, yes and no, letting go of any muscular tension there. And then walk or softly float your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up, look up. This time, let's take a side body stretch. Right hand down, left arm up and over your ear. And just stay a few breaths here. Breathe into that side body on the left side. Inhale, both arms reach up, look up, and then take it the other way. Inhale, both arms reach up, look up, and then exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, and lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra or up dog, and then downward facing dog. Stay here a few breaths. And then go ahead and take a big step forward with your right foot. Just find a runner's lunge. So if your foot doesn't quite get where you want it, just grab it and move it. We want this right knee directly over your ankle. And slide the ball of your left foot back. So as you keep sliding it back, keep engaging the left quadricep. And then let's go ahead and bring that knee down to the mat. Walk your hands up on the front thigh. Shoulders relax down your back. And then send your hips forward towards your screen. And then press away. Maybe reach up. You can grab your opposite elbows and kind of lean back. Or just extend up, or stay right here. So do what feels right for you. One more big breath. Bring your left hand down. We're gonna take a twist, option to lift that knee. But this right hip, kind of notice if it's jetting out like mine is right now, hug it back. Really square the hips. And then from here, spin to the outer edge of your left foot. We're gonna step your right foot back into a side plank. So press the floor away from you with your left hand. Imagine someone's got your right wrist and is gently lifting you up. Take one more inhale, reaching that arm over your ear as you exhale. Right hand comes down. Take your vinyasa. At the end of your next exhale, big step forward with your left foot. Again, make sure that left knee is in line with your ankle. Drop the right knee to the mat and just walk the hands up on that front thigh and settle in. Make it feel good on this side. It might feel like an entirely different experience from hip to hip. So do what feels right. Keep pressing into the ball of your right foot so your hips come forward, spine is lifted, shoulders are relaxed, lower ribs hug in. One more big inhale. As you exhale, right hand down, take that twist, option to lift the knee. So again, notice if that left hip is jetting to the side and try to hug it in. And then spin to the outer edge of your right foot. Step that left foot back. You can always modify dropping your knee, which I forgot to mention on the other side. So press the floor away from you with that right hand. Reach up with the left hand. Take the arm over your ear, get nice and long, and then left hand comes down and take your vinyasa. Just settle into your downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. And then step your right foot forward again. This time I'm going to have you toe heel your right foot to the right. From here, spin your left foot flat. We're going to rise up to warrior one, and I just want you to stay in your warrior one for a few breaths. So sink into the right knee, hug your right hip back, left hip forward, and then find the outer edge of your left foot and press into it. So as you find more depth in this right knee, can you find more energy in the outer edge of that left foot? So try to equalize that energy. One more big inhale. As you exhale, hands come down, step back, take a vinyasa, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just warming up those hips for what is to come. Left foot steps forward, right foot spins flat. Keep that nice squaring action of your hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Sinking into the knee and pressing into the outer edge of that right foot. Sinking a little deeper in the left knee, pressing more in the outer edge of that right foot. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, hands come down, step back, take that vinyasa. This time, reach your right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your right tricep, and then bring it to the center. So I want you to stay here in plank and just send your leg back. So now you're in a three-legged plank. Right knee to right tricep, right knee to center. Inhale the leg back, right knee to the right, to the center, and now step it through. We're gonna set up for crescent pose. So you're gonna align the feet and rise on up crescent. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend your left knee and just hover it over the ground. Inhale, straighten. You're welcome to cactus your arms if you want to add a back bend. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach up. You can even add a lion's breath, sticking the tongue out. Inhale, reach up. Stay here. We're going to sweep your arms back behind you. Get nice and long. When you're ready, find warrior 3. So you might want to bring your hands to your heart. You might want to bring your hands to blocks. So do what works for you. I would recommend either hands at your heart or blocks. We're going to do some squats in our warrior 3. So you're going to bend the right knee a little and then straighten. And bend and straighten. 2 more. Keep a lot of action in your left leg. Flex those toes down to the floor. 1 more breath. 1 more squat. So nice. Step back, crescent pose. Inhale, rise up. As you exhale, left hand's going to come down. We're going to take that twist, right arm up. So you can stay here in the twist or take that Vashisthasana that we just did in our warm-up. Lifting the hips up, maybe you try a different variation. Tree pose, you can float your leg, you can grab your big toe. Take that arm over your ear. Right hand down, take your vinyasa. Settle into your downward facing dog. And then inhale your left leg up and back. Left knee to left tricep, come forward. We're staying in our plank. Bring that knee to the center. Inhale and extend it back. Bring it to the left tricep and then to the center. Extend it back. Left tricep to the center. Look forward, plant that foot. Setting up for crescent pose. Inhale, rise up. Shoulders down the back. Sink into your front knee. Feel free to send that right foot back a little longer. Inhale here as you exhale. Bend and hover. 3 more. Yogi's choice what you want to do with the arms, if you want to cactus the arms, if you want to add the lion's breath, or you just want to stay right here with your arms up. Let's do 1 more. And then sweep your arms back behind you. Chest to thighs. When you're ready, find your warrior 3. Lifting up, flexing those right toes, keeping your eyes focused on something on the floor in front of you. Take an inhale, reach back through the right foot, and as you exhale, little bend. Inhale, straighten. 3 more, just like that. One more. And then we're gonna step back, crescent pose. On your inhale, reach those arms up. As you exhale, bring the right hand down, left arm up. Take that twist, good. So again, you can choose to stay right here or spin your right foot flat and send your left foot back. Lift those hips. Find your option that works for you on this side. Ideally, you want to do the same thing from side to side. It doesn't always work that way, and that's okay. 1 more breath, maybe arm over the ear. As you exhale, bring that left hand down. Take your vinyasa. Settle back into that downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg behind you. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Bring it to the center. Reach it back. Right knee, right tricep. Bring it to the center. This time we're going to step it through. Set up crescent pose. As you exhale, bend your left knee and hover. We're just doing it 2 times this time. Bend and hover, maybe open the heart. Inhale, reach up. Sweep those arms back, chest to thighs. Pause here. Find your drishti or your focal point on the floor in front of you. It's about 2 to 3 feet in front of you. And then from there, lift up warrior 3. Bringing those hands where you want. We're gonna do those 4 squats. Here we go. Bend and straighten. 3 more. You're inhaling as you bend. Exhaling as you straighten. 1 more. And then step back again, crescent pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Take that twist. Spin your heart open as you spin that left foot flat. Find your Vashisthasana on this side. Pressing into your left hand to really lift this right hip. 1 more breath, maybe arm extended over your ear. Right hand down. Take your vinyasa. If you're in tree, you can try taking your chaturanga with the tree. I think it feels good on the back bend. So we are going to stay on the right side. So on your next exhale, step your right foot forward. So we're still on the right side. Spin your left foot flat. So we're gonna set up for warrior 1. So right now, you might wanna toe heel your right foot a little bit more to the right and really pull that right hip back. So pull it back, spread the toes of your right foot, and rise up. Warrior one. So you're sinking forward, drawing the right hip back, left hip forward at the same time, and then pressing in the outer edge of your left foot. Your arms are reaching up, and make sure you don't take those shoulders with you. Let them slide down your back, fingers lace behind your back. Inhale, let the hands slide down your backside. Exhale, come forward. So we're still reaching forward through the crown of the head, and now down to the floor, humble warrior. So if you're feeling any discomfort in your low back, probably means you need more support. So you want to bring the hands down here, still keeping the shape of your humble warrior. So keep nudging your right hip back. We have a tendency in this pose to let the hips kind of dump to the right, so try to hug it back. Your arms are reaching toward the floor, over your head. Couple more breaths right here. So from here, release your hands down. Don't change your legs. So imagine you're in a down dog with your arms. So bring your hands a little bit to the left. My left hand is coming onto the floor. My right hand is on the mat. And press away like you're in a down dog and keep nudging your right hip back. 2 more breaths. Can you sink into your right knee and pull the right hip back? 1 more breath. From here, walk your hands around to the side. You're gonna straighten your right leg and turn the toes in, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So your heels are wider than your toes. Make sure your feet are in line with each other. And then inhale, look forward, long spine. As you exhale, fold over your thighs. You can do what you like here. You'll have another opportunity on the other side. Maybe you want to grab your ankles, big toes, lace your fingers behind your back. Do what works for you. Shake the head out. Make sure you've got no tension you're holding on to. If there's anything you let go of that in your neck. Couple more breaths here. So from here, we're going to come into a pose called Skandasana. Skandasana, you're basically going to have your left toes face the side of your mat. You're going to walk your hands toward the back edge of your mat and lift your right toes. So this is a big inner thigh stretch. So go easily. Keep your hands down and see how this feels in this knee and the inner thigh. Hi, honey. Hands can be at your heart. Hands can be on the floor for support. Listen to your body, because this is a pretty open pose, not places we normally always touch in a yoga practice. 2 more deep breaths here. And then we're going to come into warrior 2. So you can bring your hands down for support, or you can just open right into it. So turn the left toes forward slightly, right toes face the front, and sink into that right knee. Soft gaze over your right hand. Rooting down on the outer edge of your left foot, softening the muscles in your face. So notice if you're clenching your jaw, try to relax. And then inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach to the back of your mat without changing your legs. And then bring your right forearm to your thigh, left arm up to the sky. And use your forearm to nudge your right knee away from you. So you're rolling toward the outer edge of your right pinky toe. Again, not changing the legs. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Side angle pose again. Maybe you use your block this time. Maybe your hand comes to the floor, or you repeat and bring your forearm to your thigh. Maybe a half or full wrap here if you like. You can also extend over your ear. If you need that side body stretch, take this option. It might feel really good. On your next inhale, come back to warrior 2. You can, just stay here a few more breaths. You are stronger than you think. You're capable of doing more than you think. And this is making you stronger, mentally, physically. Stay here and breathe. Straighten your right leg. Reverse your triangle. Reach up and back. And then come on up. You're going to reach forward. If you want to shorten your stance, do it now. And then right hand down, left arm up. Lean back. Imagine you have a wall that you're leaning onto. Both shoulders, both hips, the back of your head would be feeling that wall. Do what you like with your arm. The top arm, I should say, or the bottom arm. You can also float that bottom arm if you want a little more core work. On your next inhale, come back, warrior two, sink into your knee. So from here, we're gonna float into half moon pose, either floating your fingertips or hand on your block. If you're using the block, you want the block underneath your shoulder, but to the outside of your right foot. Like if you were drawing a diagonal line from your right pinky toe to your block. This left leg, supercharge it. Engage the muscles in your leg, flex your toes, peel your hip open, and then maybe you reach up, and then maybe you look up. You can take Chipasana, grabbing that left foot with your left hand if you want to. I'm gonna stay right here in half moon. We'll be here 2 more breaths. And then find warrior 3. So you're gonna rotate this left hip down. You can have both hands on your blocks or your paper towel rolls. I want you to turn your left toes down. Think about your left pinky toe. It should be down to the floor, not turned out like I'm doing now. Turn it down. And then we're gonna set up for a revolved half moon. This right hand, put them on your hips and make your hips feel even. You might have to adjust your right hip drawing back, left hip forward, and then right hand up to the sky. Supercharge your right hand and your left foot. Keep reaching back and reaching up. You're welcome to grab that foot here and try to give it a kick into the hand, or just keep it extended. 2 more breaths. Can you lift your left leg a little higher for this last breath? And then right hand down. We're gonna step back to pyramid pose. So your left foot goes back. I like to use my blocks here if you wanna use your blocks. I want you to bring your right hip back, left hip forward, squaring the hips. Actually, let's rise up and do that. So come on up. Take your right hip, pull it back, and your left hip forward. So your hip bones should be facing the front of your yoga mat. Your left foot should be flat back. So if your left heel is lifted, slide your left foot forward a little bit. Shorten your stance. From there, come forward, long spine, and then bring your hands down. And then ultimately folding over your front thigh. Now your arms, you're welcome to lace them behind your back and reach them over your head. You're welcome to reach them toward the back of your right thigh. I'm gonna keep my hands by my foot today. You guys do whatever feels right for you and your body. My hamstrings are hurting for certain right now, so I'm gonna just stay right here. If you want to play with that root lock in the throat, you bring that chin down toward the chest. If you want to come into a revolved triangle, left hand down, right hip back, and right arm up. Or again, you can stay right here in your pyramid. 2 more breaths wherever you are, whether you're in revolved triangle or pyramid pose. 1 more breath. If you're revolved, bring your right hand down. Let's step the left foot forward to meet your right. If you're using blocks like I am, let's move the blocks off the mat to the front of your yoga mat. And then bend your knees, find chair pose. So your hips drop down, your arms reach up. You're gonna bring your hands to your heart, and I want you to get low. But then look at your feet. You should see all 10 toes in front of you. If you don't, please shift your weight back into your heels. And then take a prayer twist. Left elbow comes across to the outside of that right thigh. If you want to take side crow, you would come down on your toes or the balls of your feet, bring your hands to the sides, line your hands up, bend your elbows. This right knee is gonna go on the front tricep, and you can either float the back hip or put the back hip on the other tricep. Your knees can stay right here. Your legs can open and extend. Do what feels right for you. You can ignore all of that. It's hard enough to just stay in that prayer twist. In fact, I think it's harder because you're not moving. 2 more breaths. And then go ahead and straighten your legs and fold over your thighs. That should feel so good. Let that go. You're holding that for a bit. Shake your head out, yes and no. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, and just fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms up to the sky. And this time, grab your wrists. Let's take another side body stretch. Gaze up if that's okay on your neck. Otherwise, just look straight ahead. See if you can try to straighten that left arm. You're going to get such a nice stretch here on that side body. And then inhale back to center, switch it up. Take it the other way. Trying to straighten that right arm. Inhale back to center, gaze up, look up, and then exhale, hinge and fold forward. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, either take a vinyasa or step back to downward facing dog, your choice. Settle into your down dog for a few resting breaths. Also a good time for a child's pose. You want to rest, knees apart, toes together, send your hips back. Couple more deep breaths. If you're feeling like a little overheated, take some exhales out the mouth to let go of some of that heat. Together, big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let something go. Inhale the left leg straight back behind you. Exhale, left knee to left tricep to the center. Inhale, send it back. Left knee, left tricep to the center. And this time step it through, setting up for crescent pose. So stay on the ball of your right foot and then rise on up. Shoulders slide down your back. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knee and hover. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Look forward. Find that drishti point to help with the balance and lift up warrior 3. Supercharge that right leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Do that 3 more times with your breath. 1 more. This time we're gonna step back to crescent pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Right hand down, left arm up. Take that twist. And then find Vashisthasana. Spinning that right foot flat. Step the left foot back. Any variation you want. Can you lift your left hip a little more by pressing into your right hand? And then carefully make your way into plank. Again, if you're in that tree pose, you can keep it if you like for your chaturanga. And find downward facing dog. We're gonna step your left foot forward again. This time setting up for warrior 1, so feel free to nudge your left foot left. Spin that right foot flat. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Lace your fingers behind your back. Sink into your front knee and let your hands slide down your back thigh, gazing up. Stay here and breathe. Now come forward, long spine. Don't rush this. Reach forward first and then humbly bow. Once you're in your place here, whether you release your hands to the floor for support or not, hug your left hip toward the back of your mat. Keep sinking into the knee, hugging the hip back. And then breathe. Just one more breath. And then we're gonna release the hands, set up those down dog arms. So don't change your legs. Left hand, mine is on the mat. Yours might or might not be. My right hand is definitely on the floor. I want you to press, find your down dog arms, but keep hugging your left hip back, sinking into that knee. Breathing deeply here. One more breath. And then walk your hands over to the center, turning your left toes in. Align your feet so they're parallel to each other here. And then big toes in, heels out. Inhale, look forward. And then exhale, fold over your thighs. Do what you like. Now, if headstand is in your practice, this is a good time to come into headstand if you can do so safely, bringing the crown of the head down. You can do that tripod headstand or lace the fingers behind your head. Or take whatever variation works for you in your forward fold. Stay about 3 more breaths. So if you're in headstand, slowly making your way down with control. And then bring those hands right underneath your face. We're gonna take that Skandasana. So your right toes should face the side of your yoga mat. Sink into that right knee. Your toes actually turn out quite a bit here. The left toes are gonna lift up. Keep your hands on the floor to start. Make sure this is okay. It might bother your knees, so then you'd wanna straighten your leg and not have such a big bend in that knee. Hands at the heart. If that works for you, you will know if this doesn't work for you. Don't be afraid to keep your hands on the floor for support. Two more breaths. And then we're gonna open into warrior two. You can either bring your hands down and kind of help yourself there, or keep the hands at your heart and come right into it. So turn your left toes facing the front of your mat, left heel in line with your right, right toes turned in just a little bit, and then sink into your left knee, gaze over that left hand, reaching away from the midline with all of your fingers, forward and back. Inhale, reverse the warrior, reach up and back to the back of your mat. And then side angle pose, forearm to thigh to start. You can always go deeper if you're ready for that. Otherwise, this forearm, use it to kind of nudge your left knee open. Do whatever you like with your arms. Just pick an option that feels good, not like a struggle, but it feels good. Create space in the body. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach up and back without changing your legs. Side angle pose again. Feel free to repeat it. Use your block, hand to the floor. Maybe a half or full wrap, taking that arm behind you. That feels right for you this morning. And again, your gaze is either up or keep your spine neutral with your neck. 2 more breaths. If you are wrapped, go ahead and unwrap. We're going to come back to warrior two and stay a few breaths. And this is where you remind yourself how strong you are, how quiet you can keep your mind, how you might be embracing any shakiness you feel in your legs. And then straighten your left leg. Nice job. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Reach up and back. And then come on up. If you're shortening your triangle, bump that right foot up now. And then reach forward, triangle pose. Finding that nice alignment. It's very, very similar to a half moon pose, except your feet are on the floor. So these hips are in line. Your shoulders are in line, leaning back against that imaginary wall. Explore your arms, looking for more space you can breathe into in your body. We spend the rest of our time clenching up and tightening up. So use this opportunity to breathe space into the body. Come on back to warrior two. Sink into that knee. So we're setting up for that half moon pose. You're gonna reach forward. Start maybe with a hand at your hip, your right hand, and you're gonna reach forward with that left hand. Flex your right toes as you come on up. You can continue to float the hand or have that left hand on the block, under the shoulder, to the diagonal of that left pinky toe. Energy, right leg, let's focus on that. Engage the quadricep, flex your toes. You should feel like this leg is so strong. Someone tried to bend it, you wouldn't let it. Right arms reaching up a ton. Right hips rolling open. Left hand is pressing away from the block or floating. Maybe you reach back, Shavasana, grabbing that right foot with the right hand. 2 more breaths right here. And then we're gonna find warrior three. You can bring your hands to your heart. I'm gonna bring my hands to blocks to modify. My right toes are rolling down. If you gaze back, you should see all 5 toes down to the floor. And then supercharge, reach your right leg back a ton. And then your left hand, bring it to your hips. Square those hips off. Once you've done that, then reach your left arm up to the sky. Energy back in that right foot, up in your left arm, forward through the crown of your head. Press the right block away from you with your right hand. 2 more breaths, that's it. Maybe reach back if you did that on the other side, kicking the foot into your hand. And then we're gonna step back into pyramid pose. Right foot steps back. We're gonna come all the way up like we did on the other side. So come on up, square your hips. So feel free to move your left foot left if you need to. Right hip forward, left hip back. From there, let's take a little back bend. Inhale, look up. Then come forward, long spine. I'm keeping the hands on the hips to remind them to nudge back. Long spine, and then release maybe to your blocks, maybe to your fingertips, maybe flat hands, maybe fingers laced behind your back. Do what feels right on this side. You might have a difference like me. My right hamstring is ridiculously tighter than my left. I don't know why. It is. So I have to use blocks all the time on my right side. Maybe chin toward the chest, that Jalandhara Bandha, the throat chakra. If you want to take revolved triangle, hug that left hip back and reach your left arm up to the sky. One more breath. If you're twisted, come back to pyramid. We're gonna all step the right foot forward to meet the left. You can move your blocks off your mat. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, sweep your arms up so you're in chair pose. Hands come to your heart. You're gonna bring that right elbow across your body, prayer twist. Stay here. Try to keep your knees in line with each other. So do a little alignment check. If your right knee's in front of your left, hug that hip in. If you're coming into side crow on this side, hands in line with each other. That's probably the hardest part of this pose, is lining your hands up. And then bend your elbows like chaturanga and just tip over like a teapot. And maybe this is all you do. Just stay right here. This is enough. You don't have to straighten the legs, but you can try it, or just stay in your side crow or in your prayer twist. 2 more breaths wherever you are. We're gonna meet in a forward fold. Make your way there now. Take your feet a little bit wider and just let that go. Let's take our feet even wider. Turn your toes out, heels in. Find Malasana, yogi squat. You might want one of these guys to stick right underneath you to sit up. That's why blocks are so great. You can play with the heights of the blocks as well. You can make it lower, you can make it taller. You do what works in your body. Just take a couple resting breaths here. That's it. Spine is tall. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to make our way onto the floor. So if you've got a block underneath you like I do, you'll want to remove that. And then just bring your hands carefully down behind you. Let's take our legs. We're going to come into fire log pose, which is like a double pigeon. So have your left, I'll show you options. So left shin is parallel to the front of your mat, and then this right ankle is going to go on top of your knee. This is the ideal pose, knee to ankle, knee to ankle. You might have a big space here, which is fine. If it's uncomfortable for you, you can place that block or paper towel rolls right underneath here to support you. If this does not work anatomically in your body, just bring your shin in front and sit in Sukhasana or easy pose, okay? From here, flex your feet wherever you are. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, reach forward. Fingertips come to the floor. Now listen to your body and start to walk your fingertips forward if your body's not screaming at you. If your body's screaming at you, back off a little bit. You don't need anybody yelling at you this morning. And then just take a few breaths. Again, you can always use your block here as well for support for your neck. This is all about your hips, so you don't need to add any pain to the neck. Your feet are still flexed. One more breath. Walk your hands back up. From here, we're going to take your legs out wide. So take them out to the sides. Doesn't matter if your feet come off the mat. Take your hands behind your thighs and use your fingertips to kind of scoot you forward just a little bit. Feet stay flexed so you do not pull your inner thigh muscles. Inhale, reach your arms up. Reach over to the right. Take this top arm, reach it forward, and just start to crawl through center, slowly making your way over to the other side. And when you do, send that right arm up and over your ear. Bring that right arm down, come around to center, stay a few extra breaths. Again, go to your edge, don't go past it. Few deep breaths here. Feet are still flexed. And then slowly walk your hands back to center. This time we're going to take your right shin on the bottom, setting up for fire log on the other side. So this shin is parallel to the front of your mat, and then left ankle on top of the thigh, or bring your shin in front. Feet are flexed. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up, shoulders down the back. Come forward, crawl your fingertips, and just listen to your body. You can use that block for your forehead. Please keep those feet flexed. Keep your breath long. Two more deep breaths here. Slowly walk your hands back towards your shins. This time we're going to take your legs straight forward in front of you. And then grab your left thigh, roll it in. Do the same thing with your right. That helps root your sitting bones down. Flex those toes back towards your face. Inhale, reach up. Thighs are pressing down into the floor. and then reach forward, maybe a strap or towel around your feet if you have that available, or you grab your shin, your ankles, your feet. Peace fingers can grab your big toes for leverage. Do whatever works for you. Use your inhales to elongate your spine and your exhales to bring your torso closer to your thighs. Two more breaths. Slowly walk your hands back up. We're going to bring those knees into your chest. We're going to make our way onto our back. So if there's anything you need for shoulder stand, like a block, for Shavasana, like an eye pillow or a towel, grab that now, and then make your way on to your backs. From here, we're going to do one long bridge pose today. So if you've kind of had enough, you can take it as a restorative one with that block underneath you and take your bridge here at any height with your block. Otherwise, walk your feet in, press down in the feet, lift your hips up. You can play with the same things I offered up at the beginning, robot arms, pressing the elbows down onto the floor, maybe lacing the fingers underneath you. If you want to come into full wheel, the hands would come behind the head. You flip onto the top of your head like that. Realign your hands, elbows hug in like chaturanga, and then you press up, sending your chest back through your arms. You can also walk your feet closer. Stay about 3 more breaths wherever you are. And then slowly on your next exhale, curl your spine down to the floor. Take your feet to the edges of your mat so your knees are still bent. Let your knees flop over to the left like windshield wipers. Extend your arms and look over your right shoulder. To add depth to your twist, you can put your left ankle on your right knee. You don't have to, it's just an option. And then switch it up the other way. So feet stay at the edges, take your knees to the right, look left, and maybe that right ankle rests on your left knee. Come on back to center. We're going to set up for our inversion. So if you want to go do a headstand, a handstand, forearm balance, feel free. If you have no block, I wanted you to come here. Just have your legs up in an L shape of your body. If you have a block, place it under your hips, the low or middle height, not the tall height, and then take your legs up. If you want to come into a full shoulder stand and can do so safely, feel free, of course, but be cautious. Lots of risk for injury there. Your ankles and knees and hips should be in one straight line. Slowly begin to bring your feet down. So if you're in your own inversion, take your time coming out, maybe a child's pose when you're done. Otherwise, feet come down, press into both feet to lift the hips and remove the block, and lower down onto your spine. Come into happy baby one more time. Grab the outer edges of your feet. This time, do try to put a little awareness in your sacrum. Try to keep it pressing down to the floor, gently rocking from side to side. And then go ahead and draw your right knee in, left leg long on your mat. Give that right knee a squeeze, and then guide it across your body for a final twist. Come on back to center and switch it up. Draw your left knee in, right leg long, squeeze that left knee in. And then guide that knee across your body. Take a nice deep twist here. Come on back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your nose up to the knees. Take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, let it go into our final pose, Shavasana. I always like to offer up taking a wide stance, maybe your feet off your mat. Allow the feet to just kind of roll open. Tuck those shoulders underneath you. Arms at your sides, palms up. Together, take a big inhale through your nose. An open mouth sigh. If you have something to cover your eyes, feel free. Otherwise, just close the eyes. I will watch the time and enjoy your Shavasana. If you can stay in Shavasana a little longer, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. On your next inhale, just reaching your arms over your head onto the floor for one final stretch from the fingertips all the way down to your toes. Take a big inhale, nice big stretch here. And as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest, gently rocking from side to side. Letting those knees fall to the side. And when you feel ready, bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed down the back, eyes closed. Hands together at the heart. Let's take a long, slow inhale through the nose and just fill up. An open mouth sigh. Let it go. Do that again. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth sigh. Let it go. So the quote I started with, I will end with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. With that, take an inhale through the nose, fill up. Pause at the top, breathe in a little bit more. Open your mouth, let that go. Feel gratitude for your breath, for your life. Finding joy in every day, if you can, somewhere, even through these crazy times, there is joy waiting to be found. With that, thank you for giving me joy this morning, guiding you through your yoga practice. May the sun always shine through your heart, into your smile, and warm your soul. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Namaste. Stop. Sorry, you guys have to unmute yourselves. I can't. I'm not allowed. Hi, Vanessa.